Second Cup is brought to you by Roswell Park Comprehensive Care Center.
I'm convinced that voice is AI. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. Welcome to Second Cup. Glad you're with us. Are we dark on your computer screen, or is it just my monitor here?
We do look dark to me, I think. Oh. Shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah, we are sparkling. Look at how well we matched today. A brand new tie. I'm so proud of us because two things. Number one,
What
I bought
color would you call this? Turquoise?
turquoise, aquamarine.
We were having a tough time this morning. I just sent a picture. I said, this is the color I'm wearing. I don't know what color it is.
Okay, well, it's so funny because I'm like, perfect, because I bought this new tie over the Christmas, New Year's break, I guess, and I was really excited about it. I saw this one color. I was like, ooh, what a unique color.
Where's that from?
It was from Macy's. Listen to this. So Macy's must have been right after Christmas. Macy's was having... Teal, okay, yeah. Macy's was having an awesome sale. It was like this... How much do you think this tie was? Take a guess.
Did you?
Original price.
Okay. Did you just get that tie, or was it like a 2 for something sale?
No, I just got this tie.
Original price, $49.99.
Much more than that.
What's a brand?
Alfani?
Oh, that's the Macy's brand. $79.99?
Close. It was probably like $65.
Get out of town.
Swear. Okay. And guess what I got it for? Which goes to show you the markup. Guess what I got it for?
$12.99.
$10.
Yeah, I think Alfani's Macy's brand.
So I saw this tie. I was like, ooh, what a cool color. And I've been wanting to wear it, and I'm glad I didn't wear it while I was not with you because it matches perfectly.
And everyone would have remembered, too.
Exactly.
Because they always remember.
Right.
They don't.
So-
No one remembers your ties. Sometimes they remember my dresses.
Fair.
I feel like women, people tend to remember, like, they're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Ties look the same.
I
I mean,
guess
they're
so.
different colors.
Right,
but-
exactly. I've got a million of them, too. Good morning, Caitlin. Welcome back. Glad you're with us. Nice deal, Kim says. Yeah, I love Macy's, too.
Was it like a last chance?
Probably. It was like, I don't really know how that works.
I don't shop often.
Yeah. But it was like there were all these different racks, and you always have to go to the rack in the back, you know.
The back rack.
Exactly, because that's where all the deals are.
Remember, you used to hide in the rack when you were a little kid? And
Yeah.
Your mom would hate that.
Because they were like the circle carousels, right?
Yeah, it was super
I used
fun.
to love that.
Yeah.
I know, Peter. It was a good deal. We'll always remember this outfit and appreciate the color coordination, as always, Jeanette says.
Yay.
Guys, I talked about this on the air at the end of the show. I cannot get over heated rivalry.
But you talked about it yesterday.
I know. My dad wants to know, is it silk? No.
Polyester.
20% viscose.
I'm like, that's a poly blend.
Sure is. Yeah, I mean, okay, so heated rivalry. I am still in my feelings. I am still in my deep dive era. I can't get enough of it, and I just want so much more. And I'm trying to find the books. So if anyone has a good lead on the heated rivalry series of books,
The library.
yes. No, I doubt it. I feel like the library would only have a few copies, and I guarantee they're already out.
So put your name on the list.
I don't want to wait. Megan, Ed, I started watching it yesterday after you talked about it. It's great. Okay, it gets so much better. It's so good. Like, I swear to you, I have gone down the rabbit hole of life.
Did you know any of the actors ahead of time?
Nope.
That's one of my favorite things is when you're like, who are these people?
And so listen to this. I was reading about them. They basically went from obscurity to popularity overnight. And it's just insane. I mean, look, okay, let me be perfectly clear. For those of you who are thinking like, oh, let me watch this, here's the warning for you. It's gay.
Literally.
Right. So I just want to give you that warning. If I'm a little much for you, the show's going to be a lot much for you. Okay? Putting it out there.
I've never seen either of these actors.
And you never would have. They're like brand new.
You know what, though? That's what I think is kind of interesting when it comes to like so many platforms for different things, like Bridgerton, for example, which may be a very, like, the equivalent of this. like, we didn't know a lot of those actors and actresses until they were on that show.
Jonathan Bailey, right?
Okay, some you did. Yeah, like, and I guess he had been popular, right? Because he was he on Broadway? Or he was in the musical scene,
yeah.
right? I'm not sure. But like a lot of the other ones, I didn't really know, and now they're very popular.
And you know, sometimes with like those unknown actors, you're just like, okay, what am I getting myself into? But they were phenomenal. I mean, the one guy, his name is Ilya in the show. He doesn't even speak Russian, but he has a Russian accent. I mean, like the guy is like Southern as
Was
can
he
be.
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Jeanette says it's on my new show list. Thanks for the reminder, especially since I don't have a lot of people that recommend HBO shows to me. I'll help you look for the books. Thank you so much. Jeanette says, gay is fun and fancy. It doesn't deter me ever. Thank you. Oh my gosh. It's true. Fun and fancy. This is a lot, though. And when you consider the love story that's behind it, I have just been like, oh my God.
It's a
I am
love story.
like, you know how sometimes it could be a little cringy?
Baby, just say. Yeah, I know.
Like a Hallmark movie. This is
I knew you were
not
going to say
it.
that.
This is not a Hallmark movie. And God, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in.
Well, I'll watch it when I'm done with The West Wing. Unfortunately, I think there's like 100 seasons.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be stuck for that was like me when I got into Orange is the New Black. And then there was like 7 or 8 seasons. And I was like, well, I guess I'm...
It's a good thing you were pregnant.
No, I had the baby. And like, so that I only had limited time to watch it. So it took me months. Paul be like, are you still watching this
Oh
show?
my
I'm
God.
like, I'm not done yet because I can't watch TV.
I'm in the cottage, as they say. Oh my God.
All right. What do you want to talk about first?
No, he's not Russian. I know. Go find him on Instagram. I'm telling you, you have it. I'm telling
He
you.
looks like a model.
They're both gorgeous. Anyway.
What do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the Online Safety for Kids Act. I think this is kind of interesting.
Okay.
This is something that we haven't actually talked about just yet. We kind of talked about it a little earlier on the show, but didn't really get to go in depth about it. This is interesting. How many of your kids or grandkids, nieces, nephews use Discord or Roblox in particular?
Maybe you haven't heard Discord quite as much, but Roblox, all the kids play it.
And so there are Robux. And
yes, or there's you can put gift cards,
exactly.
You can put your money in, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these kids are using both of these platforms for gaming. And what the governor says is that these privacy settings are not automatically sent to actually keep your kids private, but now under her new state of the state proposals, she's interested in keeping these kids away from potential or would-be predators who are able to track locations, who are able to discuss inappropriate things with these kids on the chat features.
Mm-hmm. Well, because these are like all targeted to kids.
Correct.
Like you've got your Facebooks, you've got your Instagrams, which technically are targeted to adults, right?
Right.
But these are targeted to kids. They're games.
So Caitlin, my daughter isn't on these sites yet, and she's already been cyberbullied, and that's the problem, right? So, you know, while cyberbullying is one thing, inappropriate conversations with people they should not be speaking with is another.
And possibly connecting with people in your location.
Right.
So, like, it's scary.
It's bad. And so what the governor wants to do is kind of create a New York state where these social media companies, TikTok, you know, potentially, Roblox especially, and Discord are unable to operate without automatically placing kids who are under 18 on certain privacy settings.
And they're like the strictest privacy
Correct.
settings.
And so, you know, this all ties into mental health. Star says, I agree, TikTok Live is so
'Cause
bad.
someone was saying TikTok can be just as bad.
Sure. When you think about this, it makes sense in theory. Kids are already, you know, without their cell phones during the day, and maybe this is the next step. Now, you'll remember New York State took certain legal steps against some of these social media companies, but those legal steps didn't really come to fruition. So, you know, I'm like, okay, well, when I was with the governor yesterday, I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. And Kim says, yes, some of my older grandchildren are on those sites. If you remember back in May of 22, we remember the Top Smash shooting, and the shooter, Peyton Gendron, used Discord as one of his platforms to basically get propaganda and spread it.
And then stream.
And stream it. So Caitlin says, my husband and I use Discord, and it can definitely have benefits, but it's also very scary. We've been educating her on online safety, but we can't know or defend against everything. It's terrifying.
Linda says, I'm so glad I didn't have to deal with this when there were younger children.
So Caitlin says, yes, I was going to mention the shooting. So I'm thinking about this while the governor is talking, and we heard from parents about how beneficial this will be for their kids to really limit their potential for danger. We're also hearing from the governor who says this is going to be a great thing for these kids' mental health. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm putting 2 and 2 together here, and I'm like, this all sounds very familiar.
Like it's connected to
the shooting here in Buffalo. So I asked the governor that question. Listen. How much of this comes as a result of the shooting at Tops?
That's when it started. We realized that the murderer, the perpetrator, had been radicalized online as a young person during COVID, sitting at home in his rural community and absorbing all kinds of messaging and, in fact, learning about, I think it was the Christ Church massacre in New Zealand. And the manifesto that was written in that case, he literally adopted that because he's able to access it online. So that sent red flags to all of us, that if this is so widely available, first of all, we need to be tracking people accessing those sites and that information, but also we changed our laws so when you become aware of that, if a student or a teacher was aware of this, our red flag law in New York is the toughest in the nation, that we would send people to that person's home and find out whether or not they had access to guns. So we are all about now learning the lessons of that horrific situation.
So the governor saying that all of this kind of started rolling after that shooting once we learned how and why this actually happened. And, after the shooting, everyone's like, well, what do we need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen again? And this is, I mean, the regulation of these social media companies is definitely part of the issue.
So I feel like this is probably a lesser known social media company to many potentially older people. So someone had asked, what is Discord? So here's what they call themselves. You can instant message. You can also, it's like a social platform, okay? But you can connect with people in a bunch of different ways. Like it's voice calls, it's video calls, it's streaming, it's messaging, it's different media. And basically it kind of says you can make your own little world. Not like you can't do that everywhere.
Sure.
Like, let's be real. Like
your little echo chamber.
Yes. Like that's what Facebook becomes. That's what Instagram becomes. But like you're kind of connecting with your people and you're building like your own little community within it.
And so that's where so much of this starts, right? Like that white supremacy ideology, that manifesto. We're talking about the Christchurch shooting in New Zealand. All of this, they're finding this in certain areas, certain chats, certain places in the dark places of the internet. And the governor wants to put a stop to it. And, if she can do it in New York, that's what she's going to do. My husband says, Caitlin, my husband saw and heard about the shooting before me because of the way he streamed. Right.
Melanie says...
Hold on a second. She says her mother works for that Tops. Is she okay?
Melanie says, good to know. She's never heard of Discord.
Right.
But she asked her son. He has. He doesn't have it.
How old is he?
So there you go. It's like, it's really generational.
Right. And if you don't have younger people in your life...
And Paula's right, too. Keep jumping. A lot of gamers.
Right. So if you don't have younger people in your life, you may not necessarily know about this.
Now, Caitlin says our Discord friend, who we gamed with for years, lives in Colorado, bought a flight and came to our wedding just to give a bright side to Discord.
Okay.
So, like, it's not right. And it's unfair to say this is only a negative thing.
Absolutely.
Because this is where people are connecting. Like, okay, you're a gamer, you might play, we might meet on that site, we might do stuff together,
So Melanie says he's 10, a 10-year-old.
Right.
So Alana, my niece, she's 9, loves Roblox. And, it seems innocent enough.
Well, yeah, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a little, to me...
It's a gaming platform.
It looks like a little Lego game to me.
Right, exactly.
Does that make sense? There's like little people.
And I'm not saying it's bad, and but certainly there are people out there who use it for bad.
Yeah, I just, it's like Snapchat, when Snapchat first started too.
Yeah. And look, you just have to, I think the bottom line is, you just have to be aware of what your kids are doing online, right?
And like, you have to stay one step ahead of the game.
Right.
It's hard to do.
Especially when the internet seems to be like snowballing every minute of every day.
And
Like new
so
things evolve.
I was gonna say too, like there's a lot of people, and I understand the reasoning behind like people don't like the government interfering in their lives.
Right.
And a lot of people would say this kind of stuff is an overreach. I get that. But then the other side is it an overreach if like here's a whole like group of us and many of us haven't heard of Discord and now
Right.
our kids know about it. Would you rather know about it? Would you rather some protection be taken if you're not aware? How do you cross? You know what I mean?
Yeah, where do you? I mean, innocence is bliss, right? Or ignorance is bliss. But if you are so uneducated about what's going on, then
Right.
somebody needs to step in to say,
Right. Then is it somebody else's responsibility?
Right.
Because I know there's a lot of people who be like, this is a total overreach. We shouldn't do this. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm a parent and I can decide X, Y, and Z. But like, a lot of us didn't even know about it.
Correct. Kelsey, though, saying that Nora, her daughter, is begging for Roblox on her tablet. Nope, helicopter mom all day. Paula says a lot of these kids on gaming platforms or Discord have zero fear or street smarts when it comes to these public social places. Many of them will tell me what school they go to or how old they are.
Right.
Many of these kids are also online into the night, and I always question myself, where are their parents? And so that's to your point.
Well, and here's the thing, too. I can say this now, like, when my kid is old enough to do this stuff, you know it's going to be something totally different. And then
Right.
I'm going to have to be on top of that.
Educating all of us. Melanie says, absolutely agree, Katie. Yeah, it's a scary thing. But
Because there's just so much. And, like, I get it. If you've got, let's say you've got a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. Let's just give an example,
Yeah.
right? You're busy, you're working, your husband's working, you know, or like you're doing, you know, they're doing sports, like you give them a tablet for a little bit at the end of the day, whatever. Like, if you don't know every single thing to monitor,
Right. It's
so
hard.
scary. Right?
Okay, so let's put the question to you then. What do you think about this? Is
Right.
this something that you support, or is this something that you feel is an overreach? Is this a government policy to give New York State the opportunity to say, no, social media company, if you're coming
Yeah.
into New York State and you're serving kids or you're serving people in the state,
You need to start at this level,
Exactly.
basically. Or as a parent, would you prefer to be the one to do that?
what do you think? Is this a good policy, a good proposal,
And
or
then
no?
keep in mind the ignorance is bliss, because what if you don't know about all those sites?
Right. So
'Cause
Barb,
there's probably more.
oh yeah, I mean, we're talking about two in particular. I mean,
Right.
these are just the two that she mentioned.
Right.
So Barbara says, appreciate the governor for doing the research and taking action. Carrie, though, says, yes, goes back to the parents. So, Carrie, what do you think, though? Do you support this policy, or do you think that this is an overreach?
Paula, this is sad too. A lot of the teens she talks to are sad, lonely, looking for acceptance from anyone.
And that's where the mental health conversation comes in, too. Another part of this policy is to give schools tools and help kids with their mental health training starting at a certain age. Because, you know, when kids are on their phones all day and they're staring at their screens and don't know how to interact with people in real life, IRL, you know, it's kind of like your mental health takes a toll. It takes a toll on your mental health, rather.
Caitlin thinks it's reasonable. Streaming platforms have already got underage restrictions. Not much of a difference. Rachel thinks it's a good proposal, but it's the parents who
Sure.
need to be vigilant.
It's interesting.
It's a lot.
You know, and you want the best for your kids. You want the best for your nieces, your nephews, your grandkids.
Kim. So my grandson's 19, does gaming. Not sure what platform. I'm asking today.
Yeah, right. Even still.
No, we've got a 19-year-old who, like, right, is an adult, but at the same time, like, it's just.
Parents need to be more involved, Rachel says. I know ones who are not. And look, not every child is lucky enough to have a parent who's involved or around. And
Right.
certainly we understand that. And I think the governor does too, which is probably why, you know, for some of these kids, it might be to their benefit to have this restriction.
How about this? The internet's become too much of a friend for kids. I think it's reasonable, but parents and schools should be on the same page.
There you go. Julie says, teach your children well. Linda says, I think it's a good policy. There are so many out there that would be hard for someone to keep track of. So many apps, I think she means, and kids find these things hang up before parents do.
Carrie says, not going to change. The parents don't check on the kids, and the birthday the kids put in don't add up to their age.
Interesting.
Right. So that's part where it's got to be on the parent, where you're like, we're setting up your account.
Well-
but that's not the year you were born.
So Dave McKinley from Channel 2, to his credit, I like Dave a lot. He asked the governor point blank, like, how do you regulate
Yeah,
this?
right. I know.
And, you know, I there's no clear answer. And, you know,
right,
it
because
sounds
you can't be like, over their shoulder while
Exactly.
they're setting up their account.
And I think they're still working on the details of how that would be enforced or how that would be regulated or how you actually make that happen.
I also think, you know what? It doesn't matter what rule you have. Someone's always going to find a way to break it.
Sure, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So you're always going to have kids who are going to do it. But hopefully the majority is if you are prompted to put your birthday in and you're 10 or 12, you're not going to lie about it.
Well, and that, mom and dad are still there making sure that it's done the right
Helping
way.
you set this
Exactly.
up. Right.
Lauren says kids' brain development isn't fully developed until their 20s, so that doesn't help. Right, thank you. How many of us were so stupid as kids?
We're still waiting for Ed.
I'm stupid in a funny way.
Okay.
Your mom says it used to be we just had to be aware of what TV shows kids would be watching. I know.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, how many times did we want to watch Singled Out on MTV and we weren't allowed to?
Please, I wasn't allowed to watch that. Oh my God. You know what mine was.
Yes. Was it One Tree Hill or
No,
Gossip
you're
Girl?
so close.
I
You're
know.
so close.
90210.
No.
Was it Dawson's Creek?
Dawson's Creek.
I knew it was one of those shows.
Oh boy,
Too adult.
did we have World War III about Dawson's Creek at my house.
Jeez.
It was bad.
Look at what Barbara says. Ignorance is bliss until it isn't. Thoughts and prayers aren't enough to save lives. You have to do something, and this appears to be a good place to start.
Right.
And
Start
what I think
somewhere.
is just so interesting is that all of this, it all comes back to what happened at Tops. It all comes back to our ground zero.
Look at what Kelly says. The kids lie about their age at 8 and 10.
Wow.
God.
I didn't even know how to lie about my age at that age.
You know what though? We didn't have to do this kind of stuff.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Katie's still lying about her age.
I'm like, yes, I need the restrictions, please. Under 18. 18 years old.
As the Gen Z in the room.
Yes.
I
Actually,
will
that's a
say,
great point. Please, your opinion, Jordan.
It is very easy to lie about your age on these sites. I mean, I know
Sure.
I did when I was younger as a kid. I mean, not on Roblox. I mean, Roblox kind of came out when I was in high school and everything there, maybe even middle school. But other gaming platforms, all they really asked you back then was just put the year that you're born in, but they don't ask you for, your birth certificate or anything. So you could easily go in there as,
Right.
let's say, a kid who's born in 2001, like I was, but then I could put 1992 or whatever, and it would just go, okay.
Wow,
whatever.
so old.
Yeah. So that's just, one of the big things there. I mean, I think it's not as hard as adults think it is to lie about age on
Right.
these sites.
I
think
that's where your
also-
parent needs to be
Come in.
there, right? Yeah.
Well, again, but also to that point as well, there aren't so many times where a parent is in the room when you're making these accounts. I mean, plenty of times I was making these gaming accounts when I was with my friends, and so, or playing with my friends. That's how I did it all the time.
I wonder if the solution is you give these kids the phone, but don't give them the password. Right? Like the password to the iTunes account or the
Oh.
Apple Store account.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right? So
or
that way you
if
can't
they
download
want
an
to
app.
do X, Y, and Z, you're the one who has to put it
Exactly.
in.
Maybe.
Although Jordan probably said, you could go to a friend's house and do
Sure.
something.
Well,
right?
that's my point, right? So if you're at a friend's house and you
Right.
don't have your parents' password to the Apple account, then you can't
Yeah.
download the app.
Unless
But
you
not
use.
every single gaming platform has all those firewalls and protections in place. There are some, I can't remember which site right now as a kid, but there was definitely one site where it was just, okay, create your username and password, and you can use whatever email you had at the time, and then it was like, okay, put your year in, okay, done. The only time that I ever heard about any platform wanting your age verification, your real actual age, I think it was Roblox. When I was in high school, or I think it was early college when my brother was still playing, they gave the option where you can voice chat on Roblox, but it was only if you were 13 and up. And in order to do that, you had to actually have either your ID or your birth certificate. And you had to send that over to the company. Be like,
That's
okay.
so crazy.
birth certificate
I
to the
know.
company,
A
right?
legal document?
Yeah, it was some sort of ID. My friends did it. I didn't do it because I was I'm not handing over that to a website. But
Right.
Well, so, it's interesting. The parents need to be on top of the electronic device their child is on, no matter what age they're on. It's true. And Rachel says they should be having online safety classes in
yes,
school
that
today.
is true.
I think you need what my mom would call that good old-fashioned Catholic schoolgirl guilt.
There's Jewish guilt too. I'll tell
That's
you.
what I'm saying. I'm only calling it that because, but it's that guilt factor.
Yeah, there's Italian guilt. Let me tell you, I get it all the time.
100%. Like
Catholic guilt is still flowing 24 years later.
whatever
Right.
guilt works for you is what you need to instill. This is terrible, but it's what you need to instill in your kids. Like, to this day, if I go to a website, let's say I'm going to ship you some wine, and it's like, are you 21? I'm like, am I? Okay, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. So I think,
That
and you
Catholic
know I
guilt
don't
is
mean it
strong.
like in a like terrible way, but I think
You
maybe
just
the
have it in
better
the
way
back
to
of your
say it is you
mind.
need to instill those morals into your
There you go.
kids
There you
that
go.
I'm not going to lie because of this. Like, I know that that is not the right thing to do. And if I do that, and like, let's be real, everybody makes mistakes and kids are going to make mistakes, whatever. If I do that, I'm going to feel a certain way. So I'm probably going to confess to my mom or tell my mom or tell somebody. Can you hear the Catholic coming out of me?
Yes, absolutely. I was like, I'm going down the rabbit hole with you, Katie.
Oh my God. That's what we used to call it. It was a cat. I mean, it
Irish
was
Catholic
like,
guilt.
thank you. It was like, and I mean it in like a light.
Marguerite, Italian Catholic girl, even worse. Jason says there's Polish guilt.
Right. And I'm like, it's all, yeah.
Russell texted me before. He goes, "Hi, period. Remember me? Question mark." Because I didn't text him this morning.
Right.
Yes, I do.
That.
Well, quickly, speaking of biometrics, we can talk about this briefly. Wegmans, it turns out, is using biometrics to track you in the store. And, we don't necessarily know which stores in Western New York this technology is being used
They
in.
did say they're using it in their high-risk stores, but then they didn't specify
Which stores? What does that actually mean?
what led to that categorization.
Right.
Now,
Is it a higher risk of theft? Asset protection?
that
Right.
if we're using our brains,
Sure,
who
yeah.
knows? I'm not going to put words in Wegman's mouth, but I don't know.
So what do you make of this? I mean, really, this all came to light after a flyer in New York City was posted outside Wegmans on the door here. And it says, this information can be used to help identify you. And, do you feel like you should have a sense of privacy when you're in the grocery store on private property? Or do you feel like
But
you
it's-
check that privacy at the door?
Because I feel like it's public-private property.
Right.
Does that make sense to you? Like, there's public property, there's private property, and then there's like this
A gray area.
stores. What is a store? People would say, "Oh, store's public," but it's privately owned.
Like, I can't just walk in with a TV camera.
Correct. It's private, public
Right.
space.
Though, if you're walking down the street in the city of Buffalo, there is no expectation of privacy. So I could stand on the corner and with a TV camera and record you, right? Like,
Right.
so that's a completely different issue.
Right. Interesting.
Benedicta says, just safely assume that biometrics are being used everywhere we go.
Danielle, I said the same. I said the same thing. I said they're going to be like, "Oh, she's going to the chip dip again." Back to the bread aisle, and there she's at cheese. She's made her typical round.
Right. Ron says Lowe's does this too. Right. That was kind of my next question. Like, what other stores are actually doing this? Because here's what Top says. Wegmans' direct competitor says this is outside the industry norm. And that they don't use it. But, I mean, in a world where AI and technology is evolving, is it to their benefit
Here's
to
my other
use something
question:
like this?
Is it outside the norm now?
Right.
Will that be changed? I mean, things are changing so quickly.
Well, and here's my other question. And, this is just kind of where I go as a reporter asking questions. Who is being tracked? Are we tracking
Criminals.
right? Are we tracking
unquote.
right? I would love to see the data, like the numbers. Like, are we, is Ed Ranch being tracked here because he's coming in 1,000 times a week? Is that suspicious? Probably not, because I'm spending $1,000 a week, right? Like, but, are we seeing more Black people being tracked? Are we seeing more white people being tracked? Are we seeing more Hispanic people being tracked? Like, I just want to know what the data actually shows. Do you know what we'll never see it.
Or is it like we're comparing, like we already have the data of, let's say, high risk offender, something like that. I'm saying,
Sure.
like, let's say it is a theft thing. Okay. And then we know who to look for.
I don't know. I have many questions. And unfortunately, because they're a private company, we probably won't get the answers. But now you know. The more you know, I suppose. Barb says, I love my Wegmans. They can do all they want. I'll still shop there. I've got nothing to hide. Sherry says, weren't they in the tops on Jefferson during the shooting? Who, Sherry?
Maybe she means the tracking stuff.
Well, Top says they don't use it, so.
Hi,
Good morning.
good morning. I don't know.
On the last note, Linda says, let's go Sabres.
Okay, and also maybe tomorrow we'll talk about this one.
Yes. Okay, fine.
You like this or you didn't like
Well,
this?
I didn't like it for this morning because I just thought it was a different audience, but we can certainly talk about it. Are your friendships costing you a lot of money?
We could do it. We could do it tomorrow when we talk about my resolution stuff.
Okay.
And then we could tie it in with this because this was a good one too. We also
Fair
had the
enough.
vaccines. There's so much
Oh
to
my
talk
God,
about
I
this
know.
morning.
Today
I know.
was crazy.
We had a lot of good topics. We got through a couple.
Including
great-
heated rivalry. Bye.
Have a great day.